Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We are broadcasting to you live in Abaco. Please, when you get on here, please share this. What is happening in our view is total devastation, a waste of money, and also persons are crying their hearts out. They're saying they can't hear anything. Let me make this better. Okay, good day. Hope you guys can hear me now. Hope you guys are able to hear me. We are live. Let me do a sound check. Make sure you can hear properly. 6.1 million. Oh, you can hear? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Persons can hear. We're going to be joined now by, we're also going to be joined by Crystal Williams, who is in Abaco. Uh, we're going to be joined by Crystal Williams, who is in Abaco. Please, if you have any technical issues, please let us know. Um, okay, good. They said they can hear. Perfect. And so Crystal Williams is in Abaco. We're also going to be joined by Lovely Reckley, who is also in Abaco. We couldn't get her here on the software in our system, but we're going to get her on WhatsApp call because she was also there. She just left a moment ago because we couldn't get to connect. Crystal, if you can tell me what are you seeing right now? What's happening? We see that domes have been bulldozed. We know that you were there earlier while domes were being bulldozed. The bulldozer just pulled out, but persons from Ministry of Housing are there. Have all the domes been broken down? Are there people still left on the scene? What's going on?
There are still some, and what they're stating is that because there is mold, that issue is this. So a team could have been brought to treat the mold, taken down, disassembled properly, futuristic. Here should have been able to be used, and you damage it, or you. But this is just in the Bahamian people because you spent continuing to ask. But I have this young lady. I'll see if she'll actually just so that we can get a feel as to what she feels. If you don't mind. Okay. Okie dokie.
And I'm having us to do.
Okie dokie. So this is what would have been. So I saw her on Facebook a few days ago, and she has applied to. She has not gotten any word back if she will actually get a home. Dislocated to hurricane. Shouldn't some preference be Miss Africa? If we could just have a COI right now.
My name is Africa. Originally from Spring City.
Okay.
I've been in the dome for a year and a half.
Okay.
Saved home.
Mm-hmm.
I've saved a certain. I not want to spend the money on it.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3. My kids are 3.
Are you a single mother?
I am a single mother.
Okay. Are you?
It is. I work 2 jobs. I got Wally's restaurant.
Okay. I'm right now.
Just help me. Just acknowledge my if I have work 2 jobs. I have my work.
Now, Crystal, excuse me 1 second. The audio is breaking up. Let's make sure your finger isn't over the mic. Let's make sure we got a good sound because we need people to hear what's happening.
Finger isn't over the mic, but what? the highest package. But go ahead and appeal to the
Okay,
government. Your
let's
appeal
try it again.
to the government.
to the government is just acknowledge.
You've not heard back from the
I
government yet.
haven't heard back from the government.
What is your government name?
My government name is Margaret Lowe.
Okie dokie. So, and no one's gotten back.
Even if it's a house that it's going up for clothes.
But
just
no,
looking at this, Victoria.
it does.
Remind you of Victoria?
It,
Looking at this, it reminds me of.
do you mind if we look inside of the house?
Where were you during to move all my things out?
This is the inside of Miss Africa and her three children. So how do we just throw Bahamian?
Wow. Wow.
I know your mother. Remember when you
Crystal, we want you to do one
Yes.
sec because we want to get the audio good. Put your phone in airplane mode for a sec. You may seem to be a little disconnected and then come right back on. So it seems like your internet needs to reset on your phone.
Okay, give me a second.
Put on right. So let's get it done. And while she's doing that, we're gonna continue to talk to you guys. We just want to make sure that you hear exactly what's going on. The government has done something that we think is very wasteful and actually stupid. And we hope that this won't be the legacy of Jobette Colby. Uh, the first thing is, before we start with the human side of it, which we're going to let them deal with, the government spent $6.4 million on this. $6.4 million. That is what the government spent. And they are going out there and they went out there and just broke down those domes. They could have disassembled them and resold them. There might have been other Bahamians who might have said, I want to buy a dome. I'm willing to spend $1,000 for a dome, $1,500 to use in my garden, to use in my farm. They could have taken those and sell those to another country, to Haiti, where they still need housing, etc. At least we get some money back. And you could have given the money to the survivors. This is when you have governments that are not just corrupt and inept, but stupid. Ms. Green, you are a survivor. How do you feel about all of this?
Lincoln, when I saw Crystal in Spring City recording what was taking place, and I saw the demolition of the domes, I saw where they still seem to have pieces of furniture and clothing in some of those domes. That broke my heart because now our people sense. But that's very disheartening. And I lost my appetite today. I couldn't even eat breakfast.
Wow.
I couldn't even eat breakfast, Lincoln. If this was something they could have assembled, even if they don't want them there where they initially had them set up, Lincoln, they could at least assemble those domes. And if persons had family, friends, or properties, they could have taken those domes and set themselves up because basically right now this is a survival thing. The government pretends to be concerned about the human rights of people. But are they really concerned? It seems like the only people they have concern about when it comes to human rights are illegal migrants. And
Wow.
they are giving these illegal migrants an upper hand on our people. And when I say an upper hand, they're giving them an upper hand on our economy. They're giving them an upper hand on everything that a Bahamian should have an upper hand on. I
Wow.
don't see where the human rights stand inside this right now, what is going on. Now we have people who are homeless and displaced because at the end of the day, Abaco has a lack of housing. Where will these people go? While we have an influx, a heavy, heavy influx of illegal migrants coming into this country, where do you think they are being housed? They are being housed on our crown land. They're building on our crown land. And
Yeah.
today I'm telling all of the victims in the dome, get together as a community. Go and possess your land and build on your land.
Wow.
The Europeans are coming in and they are buying. The Chinese are buying. The Haitians are taking.
Wow.
Make yourself comfortable. You are a Bahamian. This is the Bahamas. Possess your land and build your home for your children because our children are the ones who are suffering. We cannot stand idly by and accept what is happening to us. Cry, feel sorry for ourselves, talk about it every now and again in a WhatsApp group, get angry for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long, and don't do anything about it. We have to be about it. We have to be about the survival of our children. We have to be about the survival of our culture. We have to be about the survival of the Bahamas.
Wow.
Bahamians, we have to open up our eyes before it's too late.
Hey, can you get back in?
Before it's too late, we have to do something. That broke my heart. Everybody deserves a safe, warm place to be able to sleep. How can this happen now when we close our eyes to go to sleep tonight? A lot of us may have a safe, warm, and dry place to sleep. But again, these people,
The deal
our
with this
people,
thing,
are being faced with
blame
fucking
it on
loss.
somebody else.
Maybe a
Just do it.
third or
Now, me
fourth.
personally, I say gain confidence
We have someone on the ground that's
in
talking.
the
Let's see if we
ministry of
can hear
housing.
what he's saying.
We had about maybe 25 was partially damaged from the storm. If they had went in first, that would have given us some type of confidence that, hey, these people really got our best interests at heart.
Have those homes been repaired now?
They're working on them. One is directly through the corner there, and there's a few through the corner there. And if you go there, you could.
So 3 years later, they're still working on them?
They just started since they give us that's when they start working on them houses.
What's your name?
Then Roto Roca. I done been on every news thing. Hello Bahamians advised me to go get an injunction on the demolition of this. And I just watched the get only one of them gotta say something. Next one get on the phone. Actually, I missed the call from the Haitian woman. It's Bahamas. I texted her last night. I telling the situation. But when she called me, I was in a zone. Talk to her at the time. But I been reaching out to everybody looking for help, this and that, because it's the problem here. There's no, watch what I told the minister, the lady came around from housing. $100,000 to buy my house cash right now. They don't even know house to sell. Why are you making it so hard upon us to get up out here and ain't no place to go? I been meeting. I'm a school bus driver. The Ministry of Education meeting. The minister, she have for 27 teachers to come here, and she only could find living accommodation for 8. Pay no more than $1,000 a month. So why they want the Bahamian people?
$750 is what is given to teachers.
$750 plus $300. So why they want? You know what I'm saying?
What can the $4,000 do for you?
I wouldn't say
Nothing
for me. That'd be very, very ungrateful. The $4,000.
Can't relocate you.
Family right now was a family of 7. I don't relocate to my kids because of these conditions. $4,000. Let me show you why I say the $4,000. When I came to Abaco, I added a piece on my mother's house. The intake every day. My mother done this. They offered a $10,000 for completely destroyed. She never received that. She might have received partials. Now here it is. I already start billing. I got Bible renewal, Harry, and now the new thing come on. How we should have been first in line for everything. You should have been dealing with us first for everything. I'd be some of our house, not me personally, but some people around their house was to the point where they only electricity. So
Let me ask you something. I understand. I'm trying to understand from Bahamian residents, really.
Crystal, go closer to them so we can hear, please.
When I understand that a lot of people here, some of the residents here, have repaired their homes and are renting their homes and continuing to know of anybody in that situation.
Okay. Yes. We can't. That's when they had to meet.
No, but I'm just
yes.
trying to verify
Yes.
that those are.
Yes.
I also understand that some of the
What is that?
Prostitution. When you come in.
Are you
don't.
aware of that?
I'm aware of that.
Okay.
Well. Me personally, I live here from November. When they who? I mean, like, what type of information?
I'm not saying that.
I know all this drama around here, and that really hurt me because they said prostitution, that's going on, this that. My landlord never came to collect rent, never came to regulate this place or not. So they.
Who was your landlord?
The government.
So that was supposed to be an initial fee.
After 18
months from Dorian or from
from the occupancy, when you sign the contract, you have 18 months rent free, and then after the 18 months, and then they try and make it seem like temporarily means temporarily. The definition of temporary means rents, and tell the situation would make this come here, would make this to be temporary, get erected. So this should still be temporary because there's no housing, no living condition.
Right.
So this is temporary.
So in my opinion, in retrospect, we fell down.
Yes, ma'am.
On proper management of the
yes, ma'am.
Because as you sign of mold or issues with those issues should have been corrected right away.
Yes, ma'am.
The inhabitants of the domes should have been informed them. And quite honestly, if they weren't being properly maintained, they could have been evicted and
for someone else
who would maintain it,
yes, ma'am.
who was at the time. So to in moving forward, we are 3 years having this discussion, and it's unfortunate because we are still in a hurricane. We were just threatened
3 years.
Yes. And we've got
3 years of
hurricane possibly coming. So concern is that how long is it going to take for these demolished domes to be removed from a threat? Looking around outside, there are a lot of inside of the domes or things outside of the domes that probably need to be corrected right? So you're Bahamian as well, right? And you're Bahamian. So we're here for Bahamians, residents who domes. As you said, you made an application to was never responded to.
Never responded to. Ben?
And you put in an application.
Yes.
For
housing.
Have never been responded to. I've been back and forth. And
what's your number?
829-2369.
Okay.
So what are they saying when you what's possible and not possible?
Basically, they're saying it's a process. It's a waiting
Yes. Had the money to get a house right now. They don't have a house to sell up. That's just the bottom fucker, and that's how they being so.
Can we see where
good.
your house
I
is?
dorm right there. You want to come inside? I do whatever you want me to do. I would dare than this before they come break this stuff. They ain't do nothing for me. Only people like dogs living in there before I move in. Make sure she's right.
Good afternoon.
Let's stay inside. my dorm area. I put a upstairs in my dorm. I made China. I had 7 people living in there.
Wow.
I had kids sleeping up there.
Wow.
This is a futon bedroom where me and my girlfriend stays, who is now 6 months pregnant. You understand?
To have another child coming into this world.
You see what I'm saying? That's it. Thing I already catch before because they cut the power off from yesterday. I catch my water so I could have ran the power. Ran the power through. And you can see I do whatever I gotta do to clean it.
It's not good too.
Kristen, I just need to say something to that gentleman very quickly. Make sure he can hear me. I don't know if Africa is then can hear me.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if Africa can hear me.
I can.
Listen, the government has no authority to demolish any buildings right now. There's an injunction in place that covers Abaco, and so they can only do this if you volunteer to have them do it. Even them doing it has breached the injunction that is in place, section paragraph 14 of the injunction. They cannot ask you, they cannot remove you, and they are not supposed to do demolition, and it is in writing. It is a judgment by the court. So no one can tell you that you have to move. Now they broke down a couple of them to
How did
scare
they
the
get
rest of you who are still there.
How do we get access? Yes, how do we get? Because I went to the court this morning to a Supreme Court there, so they tell me I couldn't file no injunction, and no one even tell me that the injunction was already.
I will give you.
No. That
I will
kind
get
of
both of their
injunction,
contacts.
you would have to reach out to the Supreme Court, not the Magistrate Court. So that would be a Supreme Court injunction that you would need.
Let's find this out.
Okay, but you
Okay.
don't need a separate injunction because there's
But
already
is there a way
injunction.
possible for them to get a copy of it?
Yes. What I'm gonna do, I have it here. I'm gonna send it to you in a WhatsApp, so that at least they'll have it on hand.
If you can,
I'm gonna put
you
it.
can
I'm
email
gonna put it.
it to me, then I can get it printed for.
Right, I can email it. If you send me an email, I can also email it to you. But I'm gonna read the relevant section of it now. I'm actually gonna share my screen to the Bahamian public who is watching this, and so if you can let them see your screen, they'll also be able to see it. There is an active injunction in place. I'm sharing my screen now. And so this is the Queen and everybody else involved, Hubert Minnis and everybody else, the government. And if you look at where I'm scrolling down, there is a ruling in place. And I'm going to go straight to the relevant part of this ruling. I'm going to go to 14. And here, as you can see on the screen in front of you, and they do these things because they know that Bahamians don't know their rights. Even if there wasn't an injunction, they're supposed to go to the courts first before they do any demolition if you're living there. That's the law. But with the injunction, that's a double protection. It says, pending the determination of this action or until further order, the respondents be and are hereby restrained directly or through their agents, and respondents meaning the government, through their agents, appointees, or employees from taking possession of, demolishing any building on, or otherwise interfering with the 177 applicants and other residents and occupiers' enjoyment of land in shanty towns, aka unregulated community, in New Providence, including by disconnecting any utilities other than pursuant to the relevant enabling legislation. They added on to this, later in this, you will see where they added Abaco to this, where Abaco, they cannot do any demolitions in Abaco of any unregulated community, which this is one of them. Okay, and so you are protected in Abaco. You are protected from being demolished. Any other island, it would be different. Okay, and you can see there on my screen it says all shanty towns in Abaco. All right, so you are protected from this, and the government has zero rights to remove you right now. Okay, so they tried to buy some people by offering 3,000 something and $4,000. They tried to buy some of you out because they did that because they know they can't get you to move. And if you take their money, then you lose. And after your money runs out, then you're on the streets and they don't care. But the injunction stops them, and that's why they offered money because they realized that if you didn't move, they would have a problem. So now they're trying to scare you into moving. You have to stand your ground.
But they cut the power and they cut the power in the water.
The injunction also says that they are not allowed to disconnect utilities. All right, I should have continued reading that
So
for you.
we need to file a
Um,
lawsuit then.
yes, you can sue the government. They are not supposed to interfere with
All right,
y'all in
then.
that community at all. Y'all can file a lawsuit against the government for what they are doing. They have no power and no legal right to do it. And the government should not be breaking the law by doing this. But they know Bahamians don't know their rights, or they feel you won't be able to afford to do a lawsuit. You see, but here it also says I stopped reading right there, but it says including by disconnecting any utilities other than pursuant to the relevant enabling legislation. They can't disconnect your light, your water, your cable, nothing. All right, this is the law enacted at this time. And so they will only get away with this if you guys don't stand your ground. There's no way that government should be doing this to Bahamians while the shanty towns are right there. And y'all are in Abaco, y'all can see it. The shanty towns are building up and no one is touching the
For
shanty
help.
towns.
We need it.
Stand your ground. Oh, we got disconnected. We're so sorry about that. We got disconnected. The government has no right. They have zero right to do what they're doing. We had people down there on the ground so that they saw grown men crying because there are people who literally don't have anywhere to go. And I'm saying to any of those people who are there right now with nowhere to go, you don't have to go anywhere.
Lincoln, we, our people should be past that stage of tears. They should be past that stage of mourning. Right now, we are faced with a national decay. It's a national decay, and a lot of our national issues can be fixed in a sustainable way where both the government and the people are able to benefit because it seems like the government wants to benefit off of everything. They want to benefit off of everything while keeping their feet on the necks and the backs of the Bahamian people. Bahamians, when I heard this news, a part of me, my heart was broken, but I was split. A part of me felt remorse, and then a part of me felt anger. I am now beyond remorse. I am beyond feeling sorry. And I'm going to be blunt when I say this because some of our people are too soft. I am beyond feeling sorry and remorseful for what our Bahamian people are going through because we allow it. We allow it. Our country belongs to those who are willing to stand up and fight for it. You deserve what you are fighting for, and you get what you are not fighting for. I am not going to pacify my nation. We have the duty to stand up and defend our country, especially what is standing behind us, and that is our children. The Bahamas government, since they have came into power, have not created one policy that is in the best national interest of the Bahamian people. Not one policy. All laws, policies, legislations, it seems like they were creating, all have been geared against the Bahamian people. And I don't know if our people have been abused so much the way a man or a woman would abuse each other to the point they are calling it love. Not one policy has been created for the benefit of the Bahamian people. Politicians are policy makers. We create policies for the benefit of our people. They are policy makers. We are bragging that Joe Colby built some homes. We are bragging that Brave Davis ended the COVID lockdown and opened up the country. Didn't that happen all over the world? What have they done for the Bahamian people to directly benefit?
But before we go any further, you talked about Joette Kobe and what she has done. Let me make this clear to every Bahamian watching this. We're trying to reconnect with Abaco. They seem to be having some connection issues down there. Listen, the reason they're breaking these domes down has nothing to do with any concern for the people, with any mole or any of this nonsense they're talking about. They're doing this so that their cronies can make money. They want to build some homes on the land. And their cronies, our homes, or whoever gets they kind of embarrass to use our homes now because that shame them. They have other ways to funnel in the money to themselves. The government is going to build low-cost homes, and their cronies are going to get the contract, some of which will be funneled back to the organization and leaders in their organization, and some of which a small amount will go to the cronies that are building. This is all about corruption. They make it seem like they're doing something for you. They're not doing anything for you. They are doing this to profit. They are making money from this. That is why they're breaking down those homes. The F&M government made $6.4 million from this, okay? Because they didn't spend the money. Sabah spent the money. We know that for a fact. And they made it seem like, oh, we spent $6.4 million on Dome. No, you never did. Sabah did. So where did the money go? And now the PLP government is going to make money by putting low-cost homes on that land, but kicking Bahamians on the street. They don't care. I spoke to a grandmother who had to just go and grab her stuff when she saw the bulldozers, her little granddaughter, and go across the street to the neighbor. She has nowhere to go. The neighbor let her inside with whatever stuff she could take in her hands. And the bulldozer went and demolished. The grandmother is there right now. How heartless can you be to treat Bahamians this way? What kind of monsters are these? What kind of people are we to continuously put up with this nonsense? The grandmother didn't have the courage that Africa and the other gentleman had, so she just grabbed what she could grab and went across the street. And once they see you come out, they go and break you down. And she is crying her heart out.
All of her possessions were still inside that dome. Her possessions were still in that dome. So I see some of y'all coming up on this live. Y'all have your 2 cents to say. I am special. You have somewhere to sleep tonight with your children.
Not y'all, political trolls.
You
not
have
y'all.
Before I am anything else, I am a Bahamian woman who will stand in the face of darkness for my Bahamian people. So come and say whatever you want to say. I stand with authority to speak on behalf and for my people, especially the downtrodden. Don't come for me.
Listen, the worst part of what happens in this country isn't the politicians. We expect them to do what they're doing. We expect that. We expect to do it because they're making money from it. They're getting rich from it. They're making millions and millions of dollars. And so if they could take advantage of us and keep making them millions of dollars, you kind of understand it. It's wrong. We don't condone it. But you understand why they're doing it. But there are some political trolls, political prostitutes who fight to make these politicians rich, who fight for them. And no matter what wrong they do, they would countenance their evil.
Our people suffering in this country. Grown women and men sitting up underneath the backsides of these corrupt politicians.
Lovely, I'm going to bring you on live.
while our people are suffering.
Right. I'm telling
Do
you.
not come for me. We have children. Let me tell you all something. With the high influx of illegal immigrants that's coming into this country, do you all know who are feeling it more than the others? Our children who are in those government schools. They are surrounded by an entire invasive nationality and culture that they don't understand. They are surrounded by it daily. Bahamians, it is our responsibility and our patriotic duty to country, not to political party, not to the PLP, not to the FNM, DNA, COI, Brave Davis, Hubert Alexander, Ingram, Minnis, whoever, Lincoln Bean, Maria Jackson. It is your obligation to country itself to stand up and fight for country. To fight for country, for crying out loud. It's like the PLP, the FNM, slinging mud in your faces, and you still saying it's a good day. Do you see what's going on? We are going backwards.
Right. Someone said, please stop the Haitian talk right now. So these people are losing their homes. You have to, because you are demolishing the homes of Bahamians, and very close to them, not far from them, is where the Haitians are building up huge communities. For those of you in Nassau, I'm talking about communities as big as Pinewood Gardens or Elizabeth Estate. Not as many homes yet, but that size of area is being built up. And so, how is it that you could be so bold to go and knock down the homes of Bahamians, but not touch these illegal immigrants who are building up right now, breaking the law?
No one is
I
going
see.
to tell a Bahamian what not to talk about and what to keep quiet in their country. Bahamians are now afraid to call themselves organic because they don't want to offend another nationality. While you are silencing yourself, they are silencing you. You are ceasing to exist. You're supposed to be a proud Bahamian.
Yes, we have Abaco back on. I see Crystal is back on, and we also have Lovely. Crystal, I'll get right to you right now. Let me speak to Lovely, who was there earlier also while the demolitions was going on. We couldn't get her in the system. I guess his internet connection issues. So sorry. So we have to get her on. We have to get her on WhatsApp video, and we'll just turn it around for you. So, Lovely Reckley, you are in Abaco. You saw what went down today. What disturbed you about what you saw today?
Lincoln, what really disturbed me when I see grown men crying because their place of residence was destroyed. And the sad part about this, Lincoln, all that those people labored for, all the hard work they put into those domes, their air conditions, bathroom fixtures, and everything was just demolished like that. And I saw someone from house and had the audacity to come and they said to me, well, we give them $4,000. I said, okay, what $4,000 is going to do? Because when you don't pay first and last month's rent, and you don't pay security, the $4,000 is gone. So now what are they going to do between them? How are they going to pay rent? How? So
Wow.
that's just a bunch of foolishness. I say, and this is not called because all of these shanty towns here in Abaco, not just central, they're now out south. People are talking about the big homes that are going up out south by these people. Government is not touching any of them. I remember when they started to demolish, they put a stop to it. So how is it you could demolish the Bahamian home and no one is saying put a stop to it? How?
Wow.
This is serious. The illegals could build, and they have two shanty towns on the Sherland Bull Highway. They have the farm, and out south they have I don't know how many out that way, so they're spreading out. And you know what disturbed me? Someone shared with me. A teacher was talking to one of the little illegal children in the school. You know what he told her? You better be careful because it's more of us than it is of you all.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then people are saying that we must be quiet on this issue.
OMG.
And it's amazing, Lincoln.
That means that the adults that is around him, the Haitian adults around him, are having that conversation. That is their plan.
That's what I told them.
That is
They
their
had a
plan.
conversation.
They are going to outnumber us, and then they're going to take over.
And that's their plan. That's their aim. They feel like the Bahamas belong to them.
Wow.
And it do not belong to them. The Bahamas belong to Bahamians, and Bahamians better get above their duff and talking foolishness and fight for their country.
Mm.
You have to fight for your children. You have to fight for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Some of us are passing up the scene, but we have our children and our grandchildren that needs a place to live. And if we continue like this, we will not have a place to call home.
Crystal, are you there? Let me make sure we can hear you. Crystal, are you there?
I'm here now. I'm going to housing along with her because while we were there, ministers came. I ended up having a conversation. I asked him if I had a donor give Africa 100 for a house for her to purchase. He stated, "Oh, you all need to go to persons as it as reference to her app." But the icing on the cake, you're putting persons who don't have any houses here.
Crystal, what I'm going to do, I think your internet isn't good enough for our system. So I'm going to add you to the call with Lovely Reckley so that we can hear you properly, okay? Because we're having problems with the audio.
Okie dokie.
All right, so just hang up from the system, and then I'm going to add you in. So,
Lincoln, you know, a teacher said that they have up to 50 Haitian students in one classroom who could barely speak English. How is this fair to our children?
wow. Wow. Okay, we got Crystal in. So, Crystal, can you repeat what you were saying earlier?
Okay, so I'm driving right now. My sister, Miss Apollo, we're going to have to so that we can get some type of resolve or some type of answers to find out what is actually going to happen with this young mother that has 3 small children, because she has nowhere to go. She literally has nowhere to go. She's working. She has her deposit. She's applied from February and has not gotten any word back from housing as yet as to if she's approved, if she will be approved. She's just waiting.
Oh, wow. Wow. How do you feel? Do you feel that she is going to move, or you feel that she's going to stand her ground?
Where do you move if you have nowhere to go? The lady's literally in tears.
Oh my God.
And what hurts me is people telling you, because the gentleman was there telling her that, new houses need to be built here. But what do I do in the meantime? Live outside?
That was my question to them. They said, we need to put houses here.
Persons are stating that, yes, okay, it's 3 years later, but you all knew from 3 years ago that before you can actually, why bring a temporary situation to a permanent problem?
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, I said you weren't on the live when I was saying it, but this is all a money-making scheme. The F&M made money by stealing that $6.4 million because they didn't pay it. Sabas paid it. And now the PLP is doing what they always do, make money by building houses. Their cronies is going to make this money.
Lincoln, let me tell you what my major problem is right now. We're looking at, okay, you had a defective product that came because from day one the doors were leaking, which meant it was defective. Send them back to the manufacturer.
Yes.
You continue to charge Bahamian people $6 million? $1 million for storage?
Wow.
$6 million on 39 erected dorms?
Wow.
Y'all have us, how they say? Lose the donkey and tie me.
Wow. Well,
but my question to them is this: where are these people going to get the money from for the down payment? Because some of the down payment is like $8,000. You have to come up with this down payment in order for you to purchase a home. What happened to the homes that were donated? There were millions of dollars that was donated to build homes for these people that have a place to go. So what happened to that money? Where did that go? Where did that disappear to?
But Miss Lovely, if you lost a home, they were going to give you $10,000 for the entire home. Why not take that as the down payment? Take that as the down payment towards the new home that's going to be erected.
Exactly.
Who makes these plans?
Why not? We have a mortgage corporation.
It's as if we have the most educated fools making decisions for Bahamian people. I'm sorry, y'all know I can't come on these things. It's my passion. It's the best of me.
Let me help you and make this even better. Why not just remove the down payment? Why do we have to have a down payment Why don't we let the mortgage corporation, because it's an emergency, give these people the homes, and then I would justify it. I would say, y'all get out, wait a couple months for these homes to be built. You're going to get back in it with no down payment. Make sure you can pay your monthly fees. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah, but
That's it.
Lincoln, what happened to all the material that was donated? Where did that material go?
Minnis got rid of them because he was partnering with someone in hardware, and he felt like if they gave the hardware free, then he wouldn't make any money.
Basically, the tragedy that unfolded in Abaco, the tragedy that unfolded in Abaco and Grand Bahama was something that was used as a money-making scheme for politicians and oligarchs. All of those donations could have used them to build permanent housing. That's it, and that's all. Our people are paying taxes every single day. We pay taxes. We get no type of return. There should be somewhere we have some type of emergency money for situations like this. We are a country of tax-paying people.
And we also know that much of the materials that was donated went to the Haitian immigrants in their shanty towns, and that's what they were building up their homes with. And you can see the steel roofs and etc. that they were using to build, and that's where it went.
Because they were sent back to they were sent back here to build the homes.
Miss Africa, okay, so that we can see what resolve can be made for her today.
Okay, awesome. And give me an update as soon as you get out of there so that we know exactly what's going to happen with her. And thank you for being a hero and standing with her.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we continue to talk to Miss Lovely. So Miss Lovely, they did 40 domes and they spent $6.4 million. That is $160,000 per dome. They could have literally built houses with that, real permanent houses to put people
That's
in.
right. That's what I told them. I told them that from the break. I said, listen here, what y'all doing is a bunch of foolishness. I said, y'all could use that money, build permanent homes. So when these people move into the homes, that was it. None of this foolishness.
For each, what they spent on each dome, I think they could have built 2 houses. I don't think it would have cost more than $80,000. They could have built houses for roughly $60,000. They could have built, and because we already own the land, because it's Crown land.
That's right.
They could have taken $60,000 and built a home, a proper home with steel roofs and everything. And so they could have gotten more than 2 homes for each dome that they built. And now,
so what happened to the money that Baker Spade donated? It's alleged. Baker Spade donated $19 million to build 40 homes. So what happened to those homes? Where did they go? Where did that disappear to?
Wow.
You had I saw a person commented just now, and they said that when they left Abaco, Dorian took everything. They came back, nothing was there. They applied for Crown land. They never got a response back. However, they did get a warning. They were told that if they build on Crown land, they would be fined $2,500. But yet daily, we have illegal immigrants taking land, possessing land, and building homes.
Wow.
This is not the government of the Bahamas that is governing the Bahamian people. This is the government of Cape Haiti.
Wow.
That is taking possession of our house.
Every prime minister we get is worse than the last one. Every prime minister we get is worse than the last one.
They're gonna make so much money building these low-cost homes. When I calculated the amount of homes that they said they were going to build, they're going to make over $1 billion if they make that amount of homes over the next 5 years. You know, it's a yes, it is, and so
that's all the money making game.
Wow, you know, to see Bahamians crying while the Haitians are emboldened and saying y'all can't take us of no land, whether it's government land or private land, y'all can't touch us.
because of our economic imbalance now, because of the economic imbalance, the only people who are going to be able to afford those homes are the Haitians. We think they won't get them, but the way this government is operating, they will allow them to get them
They're
homes.
gonna get them. They're gonna allow them to get them. They're
Wow.
not concerned about Bahamians. They're not, because if they was concerned, you coming into Abaco, you know what happened in Abaco. I tell people, listen, when Hurricane Dorian came, it didn't just take the house. It took everything that was in the house. So you can imagine a family of 5, 6. You were left with just a suit on your back. So that means you have to go and buy clothes for everybody. You have to refurnish your house, not just rebuild. You have to refurnish the house, and they wanted to give you $10,000 to do what? We lost our house. We tried to get our foundation. That $10 could barely finish the foundation.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? It could barely finish the foundation.
Wow.
So, so they're sitting in Nassau because they're comfortable in their homes, and they're saying, we in Abaco, all we doing is complaining and griping. All those things were supposed to be temporary, yes, but after the hurricane came the pandemic, and everything was shut down, so you had to start all over again.
Wow.
But the Haitians were continuously building because they had the NGOs fighting for them, they had the activists fighting for them, they had the government fighting for them, but the Bahamian people had no one to fight for them. The UN fighting for the Haitian people, but nobody fighting for the Bahamian people. Who's going to fight for the Bahamian people?
Bahamian people. Keep in mind, while we were locked down, they were busy building, growing,
That's right. They've been sent from
establishing
Nassau to
businesses.
build.
But when a Bahamian decided to go out to support themselves during that pandemic at the time, they were being arrested. Today, we are still being arrested and prosecuted. We are being arrested and prosecuted for basic survival. We want to survive. We want our land. Remember, Bahamians, land is power, land is wealth. Land houses you, land clothes you, land supports you. It helps you to survive. Land is everything, one of the most important natural resources. It is your human right and your birthright. Go and possess your land.
When they had the lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
and from our restaurant, we was helping to feed the people. Although we had the little takeout restaurant, we was also helping to feed the people. I would bake bread and we would help to feed the people. So when they did the lockdown, I told them there's no way that the small takeouts would close down. Oh, they sent the police to me. The police came and told me if they come and I was open again, they was going to charge me $20,000. So I said to them, well, okay, if this is what it is, you all go right down below the hill. There's a Haitian restaurant that never closed. You all go and then come back and deal with me. They had business going on. The Bahamians was on lockdown. They were selling. They had restaurant. They had takeout. They have small mom and pop stores. All these things going while Bahamians can't do anything. And if you do anything, the police could come tell you we could charge you. Yeah, this is going to charge me $20,000.
Wow.
This government is not for Bahamians. This system is not for the success of our people. We must change the entire systematic structure.
No, because this government he really don't care about the Bahamian people. Because I asked him, how could it be in Nassau comfortable knowing that people are out on the streets tonight, nowhere to call home, nowhere to go? It's just like Hurricane Dorian all over again.
Oh my God.
After Dorian, there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to hide. There was nowhere to go. So it's the same thing again. It's nowhere to go. I don't have anywhere to go. Senior citizens, moms with kids, single moms with kids.
Wow.
Nowhere to go. And they're contented.
Wow.
But anyway, I encourage the people, all we can do is pray and rise up. We have to rise up and our voices have to be heard. We have to let them know we had enough. And we can start and we can fight for our country. It's not going down like this.
And so
now they need to come into Abaco and deal with these shanty towns like they towns with the domes out there.
They wouldn't dare touch them shanty towns because they get paid off from them. That's how they make money. All right. So I thank you for tuning in. We're gonna look for an update from Africa and Crystal, and we're gonna be on top of what's going on. You notice the media is not there.
No, they're not. Nobody is there.
And so they're not covering the story. They are only saying what the government has to say. So they are saying that the demolitions take place, but they're trying to. What they do is in politics is they vilify. They vilify.
Yes.
They vilify the situation. That's why they started out by saying, "Oh, people are doing prostitution, etc." There, and they tried to
Right.
vilify the situation so that when they come and break it down, Bahamians wouldn't think much of it. That's what they do to activists. That's what they do any situation. They vilify it first, and
Yes.
so that's what they're doing. Oh, the place has mold. Well, if you know the place had mold and people were living there in mold, you in opposition. What did you do to fight for those people while you're in opposition?
Okay.
What did you do since you
Uh-huh.
got into government to deal with that?
Okay.
Mold can be treated. Mold can be treated with bleach. And so,
That's right.
what did the government do in a year to help? They know the people who are living in those conditions. They don't care about them. They are only doing this, like they said, they got to build houses there, and they got to make their money to pay for their election, so that they could come around and say, "Hey, look how much money we have," and the third party's broke. They ain't got no money because they've been
That's
busy
right.
stealing our money for 5 years. Then they're gonna come in with their crumbs and give it to you and say, "Hey, go with us because we can give you $200 to walk with us every week." That is how they sell this country, and that's how they keep doing the nonsense that they've been doing. Because they keep people hurting so that you will need them. So that you
That's
feel like
right.
they
And
did something for
that's
you when they come and give you one $200 or buy them one fridge. But they
and it's so
made
ridiculous.
billions.
I hope the women wake up. They don't fall for this foolishness again.
I think
Let
Bahamians are
them know
waking
enough is
up.
enough.
I think Abaco voted strongly for the COI last time, and I think that they're
Oh
going to
yes.
vote even more strongly this time. The government is
Oh yes.
trying a new stride. They realize Bahamians are waking up, so they are trying to get the votes of the immigrants that are coming here, and
That's
so
what they're
that is why
doing.
they're trying to change certain laws, and that's why they're trying to speed up doing naturalizations. Okay.
But ladies, I just want to throw this in there. I hope the government understands what Louis George is doing. Louis
Mm.
George wants to be prime minister of this country.
Yes, he
So
told me
he's
that
getting his
personally.
people in
He is
place
going to
right
be prime
now.
minister.
So he is getting his people in place, not for the government, for themselves. I hope they understand what's going on.
Yeah. Well, they don't care. Brave is living for today because by the next election, he's going to be about 76 years old. And so he don't care. You all know that. He could care less. His
That's
children
right.
are rich, his
So
grandchildren are
the
going to be
MPs
rich,
better care.
and so
The, the, the
he don't
MPs
care.
better care. The MPs better care because they want a second term. So they better deal with this old man and let him know you on your way out and we coming up.
Yeah. Well, right now the FNM is trying to put another old man there, Pintado, who's going to be 62 years of age when the next election happens. And so we're having a bunch of people who are not, and there can be old people who are visionaries. I have no problem with that. But these ones are not. They
You don't
keep,
go with it.
yes, these ones
You
have no
stupid.
vision, and they're keeping us back and
No.
taking us backwards. And all they're doing is benefiting their cronies. And all of
All
their
right.
actions, you can look at the money. When you saw them was doing certain things and wasn't giving people the death certificates, etc., and wasn't doing certain things, it's because the oligarchs owned the insurance companies. And because they owned
That's
the
right.
insurance companies, they didn't want to pay out, so they were stalling it. That's all
That's
that was
right.
about. Everything they're doing, the
That's
holding
right.
back of the hardware, is because some oligarchs own the hardware companies. So how could they give you
That's
all
right.
free hardware when it's a chance for them to make money? And they did that to
That's
Bahamians
funny.
and hurt them, knowing that the people wouldn't have money anyway because they lost everything.
That's right.
All
And
of
the
the
baby didn't have the money to spend.
yes, the black and
And
white
then
oligarchs in this country are the problem.
and the NGOs give all the money to the illegals.
Yes, and that's what they were directed to do.
No, yes.
They were
Because
directed
the
to
whole
assist the
government
illegal
told them,
immigrants.
don't help the Bahamian people. You help the illegals. That's who
Wow.
you help. People didn't do that. But anyway, we
Thank
will
you.
continue to speak and we will continue to fight.
All right, Crystal is calling back in now, so I'm going to end with you and get with her. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, Crystal, you back?
Yeah.
You have an update?
Only update I have for you right now is the fact that so the housing department is closed at the moment. So we're unable to get any information from that.
They closed, but they
But
could break down domes?
yeah, the office is closed.
Wow.
So I would have met the MP for the North, Mr. Kirk Cornish, on the outside, and we would have a conversation with him So we're actually going to go and prepare a letter and take it back to his office to try to see how best we can get some assistance for Miss Africa.
That is
Because
awesome.
her situation is dire. Single mother, 3 children, and now no electricity, no water.
Wow. They need to turn on the electricity right away. Um, I think the magistrate court should be able to deal with that as a land matter. Um, but the electricity needs to be turned on right away. If someone is there who is bold enough, if the electricity was turned off by a switch, they can turn it back on because the government has no legal right to turn that off. There was no right for them to turn that off. It is illegal for them to do that right now. Um, but we just need some bold people there to make some bold decisions. Hmm.
Okay.
Wow. Let Africa know that we'll definitely be praying for her. And please stand with her. I know you're a mother, so you know the situation. I mean, can imagine being in that situation that she is in. All right.
And like I said, she has small children. The oldest being 8, I think 5 and 3. I think that's the
Wow.
ages that she would have given me. So yes. And
Wow.
like I said, even if she had money today, no house is available for her to purchase.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Is she still there and I can speak to her for a minute?
Well, let me see if I can pull up on her. Give me 1 second. Africa! Give me 1 second. Let me walk.
Yeah, no problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are persons who are still in the domes, and this heartless, evil government, for the sake of greed and making some money, their cronies making some money to build houses to sell back to us. They threw Bahamians out. And somehow they can have some celebration and ribbon cutting where these people have gone through so much. Dorian evicted them. Minutes put them in that bad situation. Now the government is throwing them out on the streets. All right. So I just want to speak to Africa now. Africa, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I am awesome. I am so sorry for what you're going through. Um, I know words can't really express what you must be feeling right now. But we're gonna stand with you. Have you had communications with the government?
No communication with the government as yet,
But
but
they did not break down your dome yet.
no, they didn't break down my dome. They have a sign on it saying that they're gonna wait until the next process, which is starting tomorrow.
Make
They
sure you
just stuck
are
with it.
make sure you are in your dome tomorrow. They cannot break down your dome or any domes there while it's being occupied. If persons voluntarily leave, that's a different story. But they have no
Okay.
legal
We have
right.
a house
Stand your ground.
better.
Abaconians,
Yeah,
we're
keep the
asking you
house.
to stand with
Single mother,
Africa
3 kids.
and everyone else who is on the verge of losing their place of accommodation.
Say it
We
again.
ask the men in Abaco to please stand with Africa, stand with the seniors, stand for our people, support them. Everyone else is supporting each other. Support each other. Stand with Africa and her family. Stand with the elderlies who are accommodating those domes. Please.
All right. So Africa, please keep us informed on what this administration is doing. It seems like Kirk Cornish is going to get a letter, and he is going to we're going to see what he does. We're going to hold his feet to the fire. Normally, when we expose it, they act right away. When we expose that people didn't get their monies, the gentleman I was talking to, they called him within half hour of speaking to me on the live, and they called him and said, "Come for the money." Before that, no one had gotten the money. So we are hoping and praying that they do something for you, and we're gonna fight for that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much,
it.
and stay strong.
Thank you.
All right. Oh my God, I can't I can't believe that Bahamians, have to be going through what they're going through in this country. Constantly, they show us that they don't care about us. Constantly, they show us that we mean nothing. And the only time we're important is when it's time to make money from us. And that's all they do.
Okay, Lincoln.
All right. Thank you,
I'll be
Crystal.
out.
All right. Thank you. So you've seen it here again. Bahamians, we're asking you to stand with us on September 14th at 9:30 a.m. We're going to go to the House of Parliament and we're going to stand up. This is about citizenship, but this is about putting Bahamians first. This is about these new citizenship laws that they want to bring into being in this country. They're going to now say that they're stepping back on the asylum part of it. Yeah, we understand that they're walking back on the asylum part of it, but of course, there's other parts of it. All right, the belonger status, where they're going to allow illegals to become belongers, the way you do it in Turks and Caicos, and that gives them, it says, the right to remain here. All right, so they're going to fool the public by saying, "Hey, we're not going to do the asylum part anymore. We can't afford it." But then there's other parts of this that's just as diabolical. Bahamas. Any illegal immigrant can come here on a boat, stay here for a few years, get citizenship, and run for prime minister. I don't know if you understand the importance of what I just said to you. A Haitian gang leader, a powerful Haitian gang leader, for example, Barbecue, for prime minister of this country. And as you can see, their plan is to overthrow us by outnumbering us. Before you touch our citizenship laws, first come to us, because we've told you no twice. They're going to sell you this gender equality thing. It's not about that. Just like breaking down homes was not about a mold or any of the prostitution. If someone did prostitution in their home, then you lock them up, kick them out. That's nothing to do with everybody else. Come to us because we told you no twice. And secondly, put a law in place so that only organic Bahamians, that means someone born in the Bahamas or outside of the Bahamas, to at least one Bahamian parent who has a right to our DNA, our birthright, our blood, who has a right to pass on their citizenship. Make the law clear and then go touch our citizenship laws. In Haiti, a foreigner cannot become prime minister or president or have any public office or any official office in Haiti.
Lincoln, hold on. But wouldn't that make this a xenophobic situation?
They are xenophobic,
Oh,
but it's for the protection of their nation.
but we're claiming to want the same thing. They have this embedded in their constitution. So wouldn't that make them a nation of constitutional xenophobics?
And
Wow.
so in Haiti, only an organic Haitian, and they define different types of Haitians, genuine Haitians. In a future live, I'll go to their constitution and show you where they have the term organic Haitian, but they don't use the word organic Haitian. All right? I'm going to show you the terms that they use for organic to show that you must be a real Haitian. So in other words, if you leave Haiti, like Wyclef John, and you're in America, Wyclef John wanted to run, they tell him, you're no real Haitian no more.
Hold on, Lincoln. Even if they didn't use the word real, if you're not real, that means you're organic. Come on.
And so also, a foreigner cannot own land in Haiti.
Oh man.
Now they have some rules where if you're married to Haitian, you could own land because you're married to the Haitian, because that gives you some rights But they make it so complicated and strenuous that no one has been able to accomplish that. That never happens. All right. A foreign company like if McDonald's goes there, they could own some land, but there's a restriction to how much they could own. All right. So if a hotel goes there, Marriott is there, they put the law, they amended their laws because they wanted foreign investment. So they say, okay, if a foreign company comes like a Marriott, they could own that hotel. But you could only own it for what you're using it for. You can't just buy up land.
So, Lincoln, this is what I'm talking about when I said politicians are policymakers. When you come in, you make policies that are in the best interest of the people and that will protect our nation's sovereignty, that will protect our nation. Nothing has been created to protect our people. Nothing.
Yes. And one of the reasons our laws are the way it is, just to educate you, is because we were ruled by foreigners. And so we were ruled by the British even before our constitution. So they had to make it so that a foreigner could be governor general. They couldn't put any stipulations in there to say a foreigner couldn't be governor general or prime minister, etc., because we were ruled by foreigners. But when we became independent, we didn't think about this. We let them leave it the way it was because they gave us this constitution and allow us to make edits to it. We didn't change that part of it because we didn't think about it. All right. Remember in those days, we had a bunch of leaders who had little experience, who didn't know what was going on. They never run a business. Didn't have much of a worldview. So they just took that thing and touched a couple things up in there and signed it. But the problem is, a foreigner, a Chinese, can come here in a trailer on the MSC, live here for a few years, get his citizenship or buy it the corrupt way like they're doing right now, and then run for prime minister. Now, the Chinese have a problem. They don't have enough of a population here to do that, but the Haitians are actively attempting to do this. And if you don't see it as a Bahamian, then hey, do what you got to do. Your children can't fight this war that's coming. Are we against Haitians? No, no, no. We're not against Haitians. We're not even against Haitians being here.
Lincoln.
We want you. Go ahead.
Say something. In Africa, right? You have persons who said we need to understand African and ancestry, our heritage, whatever. But even in Africa, on that continent, right there in Africa, they have different. They come under different cultures. They come under different teachings. You can't. An African right now in Africa cannot go to another village, cannot go to another part of Africa without going in the right way. It's impossible. You just can't do it. In no land. We call you have Haitians saying we are brothers and sisters. But we are only brothers and sisters as long as it's a benefit to you. We're being disrespected. Our laws are being disrespected. Our lands are being invaded and taken away from us. But yet we are brothers and sisters. Is this how it is in Haiti? Is this what you call love? This is how you live? And when we try to stand up against it, we are labeled as xenophobic. God gave you yours and God gave us ours. We are fighting to keep what was given to us. That makes us a bad person or bad people, a people who is filled with the spirit of servitude, kindness.
Well, there's an injunction against the government doing certain things in the Shanty Downs, but not against us doing it. So it's time for the bulldozers to come out. Apparently, we got the bulldozers, and the bulldozers will be coming out. So wherever our land is being occupied unlawfully, the bulldozers will be coming out, and y'all could prepare for those lives because enough is enough. We have to stand up. I'm calling for a group of serious men who are ready to stand up. If you are a man in this country, you have a licensed firearm for hunting, and you want to go hunting, uh, please call me. But we're calling for a militant group of people to come out and take a stand within the law because enough is enough. When we see persons coming here and landing here and abusing our elderly, talking to them bad, telling them they're going to kick their ass. If I catch a Bahamian telling a grandmother, an elderly lady, that they're going to do that, I will put him in his place, let alone someone who doesn't belong here. While you're taking her house and telling them you taking their house, let me tell you something. I would have taken on all 50 of them in that Haitian shanty town yesterday. Because you're not coming. I'm looking for lions. I am a lion. I don't lead sheep. I'm looking for lions. The number is 803-5995. If you're a serious Bahamian man and you're ready to protect what belongs to us, send me a WhatsApp. 803-5995. This is for lions. We need a pride of lions to stand together because, and this could be women too, men and women. But I'm just asking the men to stand up. We can need women to stand up too. We are going to form a militia to save our nation. We're going to form a lion's pride to save our nation. And we're going to go in the spirit of David and we're going to cut down Goliath. There's no time to waste. We got to save our country because we can see that the government is messing around. The government is playing around. The government is making money. We have been investigating and we have found out so much that we have not released yet. These government officials are making money from this illegal immigration. That's why they don't want to stop it. Not only are illegals coming into our country, guns and drugs.
Oh, yeah.
All kind of criminal activity is coming into our country because the borders are open. And you're all talking about the murder rate, we got to get rid of guns. That's where the guns coming from. The gun serial number might be tracked back to Texas or tracked back to Florida, but it came through Haiti where they can buy guns willy-nilly. They buy the guns and they sell it. They buy the guns and sell it. And anyone can get a gun license there. In fact, I had one while I was there, a gun license for a handgun. That's how serious they are. They're just loose. I can't get a handgun license in the Bahamas. I could go to Haiti as a businessman and get one. Isn't that something? Listen, we are looking for strong men. What's up? Today. You will get a reply by tomorrow. 803-5995. Let's get a number up there. Make sure you get the number right. We are forming a militia to save our nation. The government has their head in the sand. That was at Kirk Cornish. I saw some politician, I think it was Kirk Cornish, maybe it was him, saying that we need to form a task force to deal with the legal immigration and shanty towns. Kirk Cornish, are you stupid? We have had enough of your political ramblings, you know. We've had enough of your nonsense. If you want to form a task force, just go form the task force. If immigration can't touch them now, if police can't touch them now, what's your task force going to do? Stall. Or we're putting this together, give us a few months to organize so that we can go and assess the problem. Yeah. And then we're going to have some meetings, and then it's going to go before cabinet. Mm-hmm. And then, election is coming up. Sorry. Right after election, we promise you're going to deal with this. Listen, this isn't the old generation. We don't have time for talks. We don't need a task force. You have police, you have immigration, defense force. Get off your butts, go in them shanty towns and lock up their illegals. Nothing in that injunction says you can't lock up illegals. It talked about breaking down the homes of persons who have homes.
Thank you.
It didn't say that you cannot lock up the illegal immigrants there.
Thank you.
So go in Abaco, get in there and lock up the illegal immigrants. But I can tell you one thing. I don't believe that I am alone. I believe that we have some serious strong men in this country who are ready to take a stand and save this nation. And so we're going to form a militia to save this nation, to do just that. Because your government has sold out. Brave Davis has said he is one of them. And when you see the prime minister will come up and tell the whole world and the Haitian immigrants that he is one of them, let me tell you, you in trouble. We are trying to prevent our country from turning. That's the brothers and sisters.
That's they brothers and sisters. They talking about we about division. We about division, but yet they brothers and sisters over there doing that to each other. No, I have children to protect. I have grandchildren to protect. I have the nation's children to protect. We are not the same. Bahamians, if you are not prepared to stand up and defend your children and your children's children, you know what happens when a man don't defend his family?
This happens.
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to move all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you. And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. In or now.
Are you all ready and willing to go?
Ms. Green, that's the deputy trader talking to them, and they'll ask them if they're ready to go home. And they tell them, no, if they are ready to go. What kind of nonsense is this?
Like I said, we have a government that is in our house of assembly that's governing over the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that is not there to serve the Bahamian people. This alone is treachery. We have to govern our country like a country and stop governing our nation like a dollhouse. This is being governed like a dollhouse.
Now watch this. After Brave told them to vote the PLP, as what they started doing. This was the next event. And while that was going on, guess what? The Bahamians were locked down. We were on lockdown. Remember, before election?
This government isn't for the
We were on
Bahamian people.
lockdown, but they were doing that. On September 14th, we're going to take it to our government over our citizenship and over the protection of our borders and over illegal immigration. Join us. Join us on Rawson Square. The time for talk is over. Even if you just take your hour lunch break and come out from 10 to 11 if you can. We're going to be there from 9:30. If enough people show up, we're going to call for this government to step down. If enough people show up, we're going to call for them to step down. Much of you show up, we're going to call for them to not touch our Constitution, to not touch our laws, to not change any law, to allow anyone else to come and pass on citizenship. Because let me tell you what happens. The Haitian woman comes here, gets her citizenship. She can give citizenship to all of her children. She could just start popping out babies, or the ones she already have, they get citizenship. Or she could go send for a children in Haiti.
Adopted children too.
And she can start adopting children based on the laws they want to bring. Yes, please stop calling him brave. He is not. He's a coward.
He's a traitor.
And so,
That's who he is.
wow. And so, ladies and gentlemen, stand with us. Don't come by yourself. Bring persons with you. Stand with us and show them that you are serious. The House of Assembly opens on the 14th. We will be there. Let's see if Brave Davis is going to be like Menace and lock out Bahamian people or whatever. Let's see if he's going to respond to us. Let's see if he's going to have anything to say. All right? I like what Chrissy Brown says. No more Haitian prime ministers. I'm with you. No more Haitian prime minister. We need a prime minister who can trace his roots in this country, who is a Bahamian and who's proud to be a Bahamian.
Lincoln, I don't think at this moment the New Day government would want to do that in reference to what is going to take place on the 14th. Okay? I don't think it would be in their best interest to block any Bahamian from accessing their parliament. Times have changed.
Times have changed, ladies and gentlemen, and we need a new concept and a new kind of leader in this country. We don't need sharp fellas in coat suits, you know. When the ruler of Qatar took over, he had no experience, no nothing, no education, nothing. He just wanted to empower his people, and that's what they did. The rulers in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, all they want to do is empower their people. Watch this.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history. Who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries, great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care. Look at your road system. Look at your highway system. Look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.
In 50 years, they went from deserts and camels.
Wow. 50 years.
I see a different Bahamas than the old God sees. We have so much natural resources. We have trillions of dollars in natural resources. Dubai can't stand up to us when it comes to natural resources. Only 5% of their GDP is from oil. Only 5%. But they are visionary thinkers. They took tourism to a new level. They went from no tourists to over 20 something million tourists. We bragging about 5 million tourists, 7 million tourists, most of whom don't even come off the ship, but they still count them anyway. While they getting real tourists. People go in there because they have something to see. They're building it up for the benefit of all, not just for some oligarchs.
Bahamians, let me tell you what I need y'all to do. It seems that our country has sold out to some filthy, filthy people who selling us out and sold their soul to the spirit of money. There are some talk shows that are going on that are allowing these people to have a voice over our country, that are talking down on Bahamians, and that are spreading false information. You'll need to start calling out on these talk shows. You have the information. You can look it up yourself. You need to put these people on blast. To let them have the voice to speak over our nation that way. Call the talk shows. Put them on blast. Put them in their place. You have the information. Do your jobs. Speak out. Speak up and stand up. You are powerful than you know.
Don't be afraid to let them hear your voice. Call the talk shows. They've banned me from coming on the talk show, so you're not going to see me on any Guardian radio talk show or any of these talk shows. All right? So they can't stop you from calling in. Call in and tell them the facts. Don't let them spin and twist and do all the things that they do. When they call our names, you call in and you talk to them. When they bring up an issue, you call in and talk to them. If they haven't talked about natural resources in a long time, tell them you only need to talk about the natural resources. All right? If they call my name, yeah, the ministry still exists. Tell them it is unfair for them to call my name on that show, but not allow me to come on and speak what I have to speak. We have to stand up as a people. We're going to do this. The groundswell. This is the real Underground Railroad. They can stop the media. They can block the media. They can buy out the media, and they can sell them out like prostitutes. But they can't stop you. The mouth to mouth is spreading this movement. They can't come in your workplace and tell you not to talk about what's going on. You have to spread the news. You have to get out there. This is going to happen if you make this happen. Get on your device. Get on your device and share, share, share. Make sure your family and friends get it. You're going to annoy them initially, but eventually they're going to feel it and they're going to get it. We got to stand up.
If anyone out there is interested, there are so many ways that we can fight this battle to win our country back for Bahamians. There are so many ways. If you are interested in joining this fight, you don't have to be on the forefront. There are so many ways that you can serve for your country. Give me a call.
So the women are going to be out on September 11. What time? 6:30?
September 11 at 6:30 at the Anatole Rogers High School. We will be having our Ladies Association election. Listen, there are so many women right now that are interested and are willing to be a part of our Women's Association. The Women's Association is going to run with the baton. We have so much work to do right now. Women, we are the nation builders. We are the nation builders. We are also working on our Men's Association. We need men who are about this country. We need men who are willing to stand up, defend, and fight for their family. We are looking for legacy builders.
And so on the September 14th, it's going to be, of course, we're going to be at Parliament. So be there from 9:30. We're going to visit our house. We're going to be inside and outside of the house. And we're going to visit our house of assembly, and we're going to let them feel it. If you let them feel it, they're going to step back. I always tell you this. If you don't come out, if you afraid because you want with your little mortgage, your little job, etc., then guess what's going to happen? They're going to pass these bills, and your children will not have a country to grow up in. See, this isn't like the Chinese will come and live amongst you and do what they have to do and ignore you and not be a part of what you're doing. The Jamaicans know how to come here and they assimilate, etc. These are people who are looking to take over. Not all of them. There are some good Haitians. I don't want people to trap me in that to say, I feel like all Haitians like that, but I am concerned about the bad ones. That's who I'm concerned about. And many of the Haitians who live here are concerned about the bad ones. And they are contacting us every day and encouraging us to keep going, that they support us, that they don't agree with what Brave Davis is doing, that he thinks Haitians stupid. Only the corrupt ones are going to agree with opening up this country and letting those ones come in and destroy it. We have to stand up. So on September 14, we're going to stand up. And then Grand Bahama, make sure you are there. We're going to be in a couple of your talk shows that Friday. But Grand Bahama, make sure you are there. We're going to be there at the BUT Hall, the Bahamas Union of Teachers Hall. And that's on the 18th. We're going to be there at 5 p.m. That's Sunday at 5 p.m., not this Sunday. But it's on a Sunday at 5 p.m. on the 18th. And so make sure you are there. All right? Make sure you are there. So we are going to we're going to end this live, but this is just a reminder. Make sure you are there on the 14th. We just have 6 more days until we rock this nation. In the meantime, we got a plan, a militia that's going to defend our country and that's going to defend our land. Some serious fellas. We're going to assign leaders to. That are going to have leaders come from them, and we got to get serious because we have already seen that the police are afraid of them. The defense force afraid of them, immigration afraid of them, the government afraid of them. But I think it's some Bahamians or the who ain't scared.
Bahamians to the Bahamians, to my brothers and sisters who are going to be on the Family Islands during September 14th, listen to me. Tune in and share the live. Make sure if you have family, friends that are international, share the live. This is a way that you can be a part of this movement that is going to take place on September 14th. Share the live. We are going to black out this nation.
Yes, we are. And so, like we said, we have natural resources so much that no Bahamian has to be in poverty ever again. But they don't want you to benefit. They don't want you to have anything in this country. In 50 years, look at what Dubai has done. In 50 years, where are we? Look at our hospital. Look at Princess Margaret Hospital.
Princess Margaret, oh no, I heard people are saying, well, that's something different. We're going to leave that for another live. But another thing, let's remember the Junkanoo spirit, right? Our Junkanoo spirit. September 14th, I would like for our Junkanoo groups, if you can, I would like for you to come out with the war drums. When we go out on Bay Street, all I want to hear is boom, boom, boom. We coming for our country.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so remember to support the movement. You can go to our website, coalitionofindependence.com, and you can support the movement. That's coalitionofindependence.com, and you can make a donation there, or you can come to the office. The office is going to be open every single day moving forward. So you can come to our office in Pinewood, and you can do it in cash if you want to. We'll normally be open after 11 every single day. And so you can come here and do that if you are in the United States of America, because we have a growing force in America that we're now going to start to organize, the Bahamians who are in our diaspora. And so they are there. You can contact us at 803-5995 for how you can donate, or you can go to Cash App, $ Lincoln Bain, and we'll make sure it gets done. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure we're going to also set up another GoFundMe so that you can assist us there also. All right. We'll try to set it up today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take our country back. It's time for us to benefit. It's time to put Bahamians first. Thank you for joining us. We got to take the baton. Young Lions, it's time to stand up, because no one is going to give you anything. You got to take this. The young lion has to fight for it. The old lion will stay there. He could be crippled and walking on crutches. He's going to stay there. And he should. But the young lions have to take it back. The young Pinlin had to take it from the UBP. The young Ingram had to take it from Pinlin. And you can see what happens when they give it to you, like what happened with Perry Christie. Nothing. You're just weak. And nothing really happens, and they still control you. We got to take this back. I'm going to leave you with the words of a very powerful man who warned us that if we vote wrong, we'd be going 50 years backwards. And that's exactly what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next time.
Politically speaking, I think that we are in a leadership dilemma. We are at the point in history where transition is taking place. And no one is deciding that. Life is deciding that. Most of the older leaders who were part of our historical journey fading into the sunset. The realities are effective leaders always prepare their replacements. They mentor and they create succession.
Monroe said he had a dream once about the funeral of a celebrated track and field athlete. In the dream, he said the athlete was lying in his coffin in his running uniform, clutching a baton. As mourners filed past, Monroe said he realized what the dream was about when he woke up.
It was about people dying with the baton. You know, instead of passing it on. And I was thinking, the young person who's supposed to lead next have to go to that casket, pry the baton out of the dead man's hand just to take it to the next leg. This may be what we're struggling with here. People would rather die with the position than pass it on. And so you find the young people having to fight to get it. Great leaders pass it on before they die, and they live to see the other runner run. Hopefully we'll get there in the Bahamas.
And the Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go, shalom to all my Hebrew brothers. To all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. Selassie, I know, I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing it for years, trying to separate us. Kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet. So the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck. Yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. When 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. On this Lincoln Bain and his team came with information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They'd rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. No, the change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nago. There's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.